In the summer of 2024, Anfield didn't just lose a manager, it lost its heartbeat. When Jürgen Klopp walked away, he promised a clean break, a chance for a new era to breathe. And for 12 months, it looked like a miracle. Arne Slot didn't just succeed Klopp, he surpassed him, delivering a Premier League title in his very first season, a feat that took Klopp 4 years to achieve. But as we sit here in March 2026, the Dutch fairy tale has curdled into a nightmare. Liverpool aren't just losing the title, they are losing their identity. Following a humiliating 2-1 defeat to bottom-of-the-table Wolves, the 5th time this season they've collapsed in the 90th minute, the reigning champions have slumped to 5th place, their Champions League hopes hanging by a thread. The Anfield faithful are no longer singing about the new era. They are looking toward the Red Bull offices in Fuschel, where rumors are reaching a fever pitch that Klopp is feeling the urge to smell the locker room again. Is Liverpool's $600 million spending spree actually the weight that's dragging them down? Or is the ghost of Jürgen Klopp simply too big for any manager to live with? Before we dive into the Klopp U-turn and the tactical breakdown of Arne Slot, do me a favor. If you want the truth behind the highlights, hit that subscribe button right now. We are building a community for the fans who look past the scoreline. This is GoalLine Stories, and today we're asking, is the king coming back to save his kingdom? The problem isn't just that Liverpool are losing, it's the cost of the failure. In the summer of 2025, FSG shattered every club spending record, injecting a staggering $606 million into the squad to ensure Arne Slot had a dynasty, not just a one-hit wonder. They broke the British transfer record twice, bringing in Alexander Isak for £125 million and the German wonderkid Florian Wirtz to be the new heartbeat of Anfield. On paper, it was a cheat code lineup. In reality, it has been a localized disaster. Isak, the man brought in to be the ultimate successor to the Salah Mane era, has managed a shocking return of just 2 goals in the Premier League this season. A number so low, it ranks him as one of the statistically worst value-for-money transfers in English history. Meanwhile, Florian Wirtz, who started with flashes of brilliance, has been sidelined by a recurring injury just as the pressure began to mount. Slot's defense of the spending is simple. He points to the £300 million they recouped by selling starters like Trent Alexander-Arnold, arguing that the net spend is justified. But the Anfield crowd doesn't care about the balance sheet when they're watching a slow, predictable system that can't score from open play. The heavy metal football of the Klopp years has been replaced by an eye-hurting tactical gridlock that has left the reigning champions looking like a collection of expensive strangers. While the balance sheet is bleeding, the dressing room is fracturing. In March 2026, the Dutch discipline that won the title a year ago has evolved into something far more toxic. Reports are surfacing of a growing animosity between the veteran core, the players who bled for Klopp, and the high-priced newcomers who have failed to justify their massive wages. The tension reached a breaking point last night in the locker room at Molineux, with Virgil van Dijk reportedly letting out an angry blast at the squad's lack of character after the Wolves' defeat. But the real friction is at the top. Mohamed Salah, despite signing a massive fresh deal last year, has seen his relationship with Slot deteriorate to the point of a public fallout, with Salah reportedly feeling thrown under the bus by his manager's tactical demands. The core issue? Slot has abandoned the heavy metal press for a rigid, possession-based 4-2-3-1 that many senior players feel has stripped them of their greatest strength, their chaos. Pundits like Danny Murphy are already claiming that 5 key stars have let down their manager, while fans are openly calling Slot's system dim-witted non-tactics. When the captain is exposed and the talisman is frustrated, the manager isn't just fighting for points, he's fighting to prevent a total mutiny. The crisis at Anfield has officially reached the highest levels of FSG. While the public stance is one of patience, the reality in Boston is far more frantic. Reports are circulating that the bullet is being loaded into the FSG manager gun following the Wolves' disaster, with insiders suggesting that Arne Slot's tenure will be sentenced to the sack if Liverpool fail to secure a deep run in the Champions League. For the first time since the dark days of 2010, the board is looking at a catastrophic loss of revenue. Missing out on the Champions League next year would be a $150 million blow that their $600 million squad simply cannot afford. But who replaces a man who was supposed to be the long-term successor? While names like Zinedine Zidane and Simone Inzaghi are being whispered, the name that has the most traction behind the scenes is the one that got away last summer: Xabi Alonso. Alonso is currently unattached after a brutal, premature end to his Real Madrid tenure in January. A tenure that was cut short not by poor tactics, but by a locker room war he couldn't win. The stars are aligning for a sensational mercy mission return to Anfield, but there's one giant German obstacle standing in the way of a clean transition. While the Anfield boardroom is in chaos, Jürgen Klopp is facing a different kind of crisis: the crisis of boredom. Just 14 months into his high-level executive role as Red Bull's head of global soccer, the reports coming out of Austria are explosive. Despite the public nonsense labels from Red Bull's CEO, the internal reality is that Klopp is struggling to adapt to a life behind a desk. Sources close to the German suggest that the role is simply too far from the adrenaline of the pitch, and the lack of a weekly result is starting to weigh on him. But it's not just about Klopp's feelings, it's about his results. Across the Red Bull network, from Leipzig sitting 5th in the Bundesliga to the New York Red Bulls missing the playoffs entirely, the Klopp effect has yet to materialize. For a man who built his career on the raw emotion of heavy metal football, being a mentor for sporting directors feels like a cage. Rumors are now circulating that both parties are looking for an exit strategy as early as this summer, with reports from Sky Sports Switzerland suggesting a return to the touchline is now inevitable. Klopp has famously stated he will never manage another English club besides Liverpool, which leaves the footballing world with one massive, terrifying question. If Slot is sacked and Klopp is free, will he break his promise to his missus and step back into the fire to save his kingdom? But if you think Anfield is the only place dreaming of a German savior, you haven't been looking at the Santiago Bernabeu. In March 2026, Real Madrid is a club on the edge of a nervous breakdown. Just yesterday, following a shocking 1-0 home defeat to Getafe, the Bernabeu crowd did something almost unthinkable. They turned their anger away from the pitch and directly at the presidential box, with deafening chants of "Florentino, resign" ringing out across the capital. Álvaro Arbeloa, the man brought in to stabilize the ship after Xabi Alonso's own messy exit in January, has seen his authority evaporate in weeks. Reports from El Chiringuito claim that the Madrid hierarchy has already made an aggressive move for Jürgen Klopp, seeing him as the only personality big enough to manage the egos of a broken Galactico era. It's a terrifying prospect for Liverpool fans, a Real Madrid with Klopp at the helm, finally reuniting with the likes of Jude Bellingham and potentially bringing Manchester City's Rodri with him as a non-negotiable signing. Klopp has reportedly already rejected one informal approach from Perez this week, but with the Madrid job potentially becoming vacant by Monday, the pressure on the German to choose between romance at Anfield and the throne in Madrid is reaching a breaking point. But while Madrid burns and Klopp waits, there is a third shadow looming over the Melwood gates: Xabi Alonso. Just 7 weeks after his mutual agreement exit from Real Madrid, a stint cut short by a locker room war with the likes of Vinicius Jr., Alonso is the most dangerous free agent in world football. He hasn't been idle. Reports from Goal confirm that Alonso has already rejected an official approach from Marseille, turning down a massive project in France because his eyes are fixed on only one horizon. He is reportedly holding out for the Liverpool job, effectively waiting for the Arne Slot era to conclude. The irony is staggering. The man who was supposed to replace Klopp in 2024, but chose Leverkusen, then chose Madrid, is now positioned as the ultimate "I told you so" for the FSG board. While the reliable David Ornstein suggests that Slot is safe until the summer, the pressure from the fans is becoming a physical force. Will they choose the romantic return of Klopp or the tactical precision of a battle-hardened Alonso? This is the crossroads that will define the next decade of Liverpool Football Club. I want to hear from you. Should Liverpool bring Klopp back to save the kingdom, or is Xabi Alonso the modern leader they actually need? Drop your thoughts below, and if you've enjoyed this investigation, hit that subscribe button and join the GoalLine Stories community. We don't just follow the ball, we follow the truth. I'm your host, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next deep dive. This is GoalLine Stories.